In the small town of Maple Creek in the northern United States, George Ellis lived quietly in a wooden house nestled by the woods. Each morning, he sat on an old chair, sipping tea and feeling the cold dew waft through the grass. His peaceful life took an unexpected turn when he noticed two wild foxes in his backyard. At first, they lurked in the bushes, their alert eyes glinting. The male with striking orange fur, the female softer and smaller. They kept their distance, observing George cautiously. Over time, he noticed the female's swollen belly, a sign she was pregnant. Hoping to ease their wariness, George began leaving food and water on the porch. The male remained protective, often shielding the female as she approached. As George watched, he grew certain she was nearing labor and worried whether they had a safe place to shelter, especially with spring rains looming. The male's eyes seemed to warn, "Stay away," yet George couldn't ignore the female's struggle as her belly grew. The town of Maple Creek remained tranquil, but George's concern deepened daily. One night, a soft fox cry echoed from the forest, stirring unease in his mind. Determined to help if needed, he resolved to watch patiently for nature's cue. Early one morning, as dew clung to the leaves, an urgent cry came from the grass behind his house. His heart raced as he stepped outside and saw the male fox pacing frantically, hissing in panic. The female lay by the bushes, panting, her eyes wide with pain. Her bulging belly tight. She was in labor, but struggling. George paused, aware that any sudden move might provoke the male, who growled warily. Raising empty hands to show he meant no harm, George felt his heartbeat sync with the female's labored breaths, each groan tightening his chest. For the first time, he approached a wild creature in need, his resolve outweighing his fear. The male fox continued growling, but didn't attack, as if sensing George's intent. Sitting at a safe distance, George observed the female's writhing form, realizing the situation was critical. Whispering softly to calm both foxes, he noted the male's concerned gaze. The female's body trembled, her fur damp with dew and sweat. Drawing on his experience helping pet dogs give birth, George cautiously reached toward her belly. The male's fur bristled, but he held back. Feeling strong contractions, George deduced the fetus hadn't rotated properly, complicating the birth. A chilly breeze carried the scent of damp soil, heightening the tension. Taking a deep breath, George adjusted the female's position, stroking her gently to ease her strain. She resisted weakly, but soon lay still, as if trusting his care. The male watched intently, shifting between George and his mate. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, glinting on the fox's dew-soaked fur. George confirmed the fetus's head wasn't aligned and, despite the risk, decided to assist. He couldn't abandon the life at stake. With careful precision, he turned the fetus to ease its path. The female's moans grew heart-wrenching, her legs twitching in pain. The male let out a sudden howl, as if urging her on. "Come on, we're almost there," George whispered. At last, the fetus's head emerged, and with a final push, a tiny wet fox cub rolled out, crying weakly. George quickly wiped its mouth and nose with a clean towel, ensuring it could breathe. The male stepped forward, sniffing, then retreated, his worry palpable. The female continued laboring, as more cubs were coming. George supported each push, guiding the next cubs a second, third, fourth, and finally a fifth, cleaning each and placing them by their mother's belly to warm. The female, exhausted, lay panting, her eyes weary yet fierce with survival. The male's wariness softened into hope, his growls ceasing. The spring sun rose higher, illuminating the scene. The female's hoarse cries faded as the last cub suckled. George wiped her fur clean and brought water and soft meat, which the male inspected before letting her eat. The cubs, tiny and curled against their mother, suckled hungrily, oblivious to the damp ground. George's footprints mingled with the foxes in the wet earth, a testament to their shared effort. After over 2 hours, George sat back, relief washing over him. The fox family, now complete, rested under the morning light. The male approached, sniffing his cubs, then fixed his gaze on George not with resentment, but with quiet gratitude. George retreated slowly, giving them space while watching for complications. As sunlight danced on the dew, he smiled, knowing this moment where human and wild converged in trust would stay with him forever. The magic of that morning, born of patience and compassion, wove a bond between George and the foxes, a miracle etched in Maple Creek's quiet woods. This story of kindness and connection, where a man and wild creatures united for life, resonates as a reminder of nature's delicate balance and the profound impact of a single act of care, inviting others to cherish such moments of harmony and hope.